Don't take over, okay? Thanks.
Which one?
Right, hi guys. We are going today to look at bad tattoos in wrestling. There's multiple bad tattoos in wrestling, and we have chosen our top 10 worst tattoos in wrestling. There's some terrible ones here. Dan, let's take it away with number 10. Who is it going to be? It's a really poor tattoo. Dan, Emily, do you know whose tattoo that belongs to?
That's someone in WWE, isn't it? That much I'm sure about.
It is.
Someone in WWE.
That is they started a
Is it Braun Strowman?
It's the weakest Superman logo on the arm ever to one of the deadliest
giant
men.
Of a man.
Am I right? Hey!
See, I respect the not covering up the he's like, no, okay, I went for that tattoo, then I went like real 90s with the try, and then they went more, and I love it. I respect.
He committed. He committed to that bad tattoo.
He didn't say do a cover up. No.
He decided to cover it up with a tribal design and then went for sheet metal. Three things that don't go together whatsoever. And that is why Braun Strowman has made the top 10 list of bad tattoos. It's just a complete mix of any one of them by themselves would look fine, apart from the Superman logo, which is tiny on them tree trunk arms. But to just meld them all together, it's a terrible tattoo. We all agree.
Yes. Maybe it wasn't that small. Maybe he didn't have as big arms.
I think it was skinny arms.
Yeah,
and then there was so much more.
And yeah. And then he just added all the rest as time went on to make it so it wasn't even small. Do you know what I mean? Like, imagine if he just kept that Superman logo and never added the outside to it as he just kept bulking and getting bigger.
Yeah, but if you're going to get a tramp stamp, you get it on the top of your back.
Mate, I was thinking the same thing. I was legit thinking the same thing.
And also, this has caused issues for WWE. Obviously, they cannot use the Superman logo in their merchandise. So 2K22, you'll have the design with a little empty space in the middle. Or on any of his action figures, you don't get the Superman logo.
Do you get do they just do something like a little bit similar to colouring? So
no, it's just
it's just an empty space.
Just an empty space.
So it's a DIY. You can put your own Braun Strowman tattoo. What do you think could have been better? I.e., anything.
Anything at all. Let's see if people can. Well, me and Dan know who this is. Let's see if Dan and Emily, our great guest from Pro Wrestling Eve, go subscribe to Pro Wrestling Eve, guys. Whose tattoo is that?
What tattoo is that?
Bulldog?
Exactly.
Is it a sweaty dog? Is it a sweaty dog with human arms going, ah?
Pretty much. Pretty much.
It's supposed to be a sweaty dog with a rose. Well, I don't know if the stipulation was sweaty dog. It's a dog with a rose in its mouth.
I like the fact that you said
with a rose?
Bollocks!
Oh, yeah, no, there's the rose. Look, on that
No, there isn't.
That is by its face. It's a...
I mean, it looks like it's holding a purse.
It looks like they're two... it looks like he's biting his own arm to me, or a bone.
Yeah, an arm that's holding a rope. Who is that? Well, they can't be young.
So I see. Guess it's KO. It's not.
It's
KO.
a champion in AEW.
I mean,
is that MJF?
Like that doesn't narrow it down. Do you know how many belts they've got there? Thanks for this.
It takes out Roman Reigns. There you go.
Great, you've narrowed the roster down by like 12. Right,
we are revealing who it is. It is, of course, Christian Cage.
Oh my goodness, it's right there on his arm.
I would have expected so much more. Maybe it means something to it. I can't say anything bad against Christian.
No, I love it. I knew he had a tattoo there. I just never ever focused on it. It was just literally
you can focus on it because it's blurry.
It is pretty blurry as a tattoo, and that is Christian's bad dog tattoo. I'm sure it means something, but it's just an awful tattoo. It has no clarity to it whatsoever.
He needs to get that touched up.
And the size of it as well on his arm, like it just doesn't sit right. Do you know what I mean?
I'm pretty sure. He's older. He's 10 years older than me. He's about 13 years old. Yeah, because he's got his email. His year of birth is in his email address. So anyway, carry on.
Okay.
There we go. So anything to say about that, Dan?
It needs to be touched up.
You're not Dan. Christ almighty.
I thought you were Dan, and then I spoke on your behalf.
He's Dan. The guy whose bloody channel it is with Ant and Dom.
man. I'll fuck it up.
What do you think about
And the
it?
person sat next to you is also Dan.
What's going on? I feel like someone's farted on their
swore.
screen. Oh, it's all good.
I don't know if we got it.
Oh,
Number
we know who that is.
That's Brock.
It's a it's a
McIntyre.
massive penis on his chest. Is what that
I should have
is.
done it. I should have just done the bit high a bit, shouldn't I?
It's
mate.
Loch
So
Bresner.
just done that little bit because it just looked really wrong.
Is it? Though?
It would just look like a shaft, man.
But
It's Brock Lesnar. And it is a bad tattoo. Now, Brock Lesnar said that he got this at a hard time in his life, and it felt like someone was holding a throat to his sword.
A throat to his
Sword.
sword.
We've all been
I mean, it's not wrong still.
No.
The blade is still against the throat.
Yeah.
But you just said a throat. His
I
throat?
did.
Somebody else's throat?
Yeah, it's
General
just
throat.
It's the weirdest tattoo, right? It just doesn't. It looks like a giant cock, right? Is that just me?
If you take the handle off, definitely.
I've never
It's
seen
bizarre.
A penis with wings.
I've never seen one go
Penis
up
with
like
wings.
this,
A penis that's
like-
going to heaven.
Penis going to heaven. You're right. I didn't think of that way. That's a penis going to
I
heaven.
don't know
right
if
there.
this video is making it into the. Okay, go right.
Hey, I warned you this was happening. There we go. Brock Lesnar has made it to the worst tattoos. It's. I think it's also because he hasn't got any others.
You wouldn't tell him.
No, it's a
If you-
lovely.
no.
It is a lovely tattoo. It's
You'd say that.
wonderful.
May I say, what a smashing tattoo you have.
It's what mwah,
Did-
chef's kiss of
Did
tattoo.
Joe just say that he hasn't got many other tattoos on?
He's got the one on the back, but the one on the back is a really nice tattoo, a really nice back piece. We've got some
Yeah,
really
it
bad
is.
back pieces here, but that it doesn't work for me, man. It doesn't work.
No.
Cool. Number 4. Whose tattoo is that? Bruise on the knee there.
I do recognise that
I
actually.
can say I should.
There was a bit of a clue in that, what you said, though, Ant.
What did I say? In his
Bruise.
bruise.
bruise. Yes, it was a crew. There was a clue.
Is it a tag team wrestler? Is it someone from a tag team? Like, I recognise. I 100% recognise that because I just remember the first time I saw it, I was like, I wouldn't have put that tattoo on them.
Is it a
I
bear?
mean,
Absolutely.
A bear isn't the butchest thing in the world, but
It's just the placement of it. It just looks
Yeah.
like a bruise on the knee. People have guessed Brock Lesnar correctly, and Matt got Christian.
That's
It is,
why
of
I know
course-
it.
Oh,
Of course, that's why I bloody know it.
Yeah.
It is the Bruiserweight himself. Well
Right,
done, Dan, with
yeah.
that pun. It is the Bruiserweight with a massive bruise on his knee. That is
Of course.
the bear. I hate this tattoo, man.
I knew the bloody tattoo because I've seen the bloody tattoo. That's
Yeah, exactly. You probably worked with the tattoo before, or the performer, either
You've
whichever.
never worked with me, but we've worked shows together. Yeah.
There we go, man. There we go. So there is the Bruiserweights. I dislike this. It is not going to age well, that tattoo at all. And because there's nothing else there, and the placement of it, first of all, it'll be in a pain to get, I'm sure, but it just
Knees are
doesn't
sore.
work for me. Knees are sore, says Dan.
I don't know if it's a bear or a dog.
That's
it is meant to be a proper bear. It's
Oh, it's
it's a bear in an old school style of tattoo.
Oh,
Right.
okay. I feel
I
like
don't-
tattoos there won't age. Like they're gonna.
I did
blur
try and actually find a
together.
very good photo of it, but there isn't actually a photo just of the knee without sort of a bend in it in somewhere like the photos that are shown.
Because it's like,
And
I
that's
have
because
tattoos on my
knees bend.
knuckles, and that comes out. You know, like
that
the
must
knee is
hurt.
gonna
Tattoos
come
on the knee
out.
like that must hurt.
Yeah, massively.
Hell yeah, man. Sassy says the placement is so bad. It is. I think that was about Brock, but the placement on that one's bad as well. Let's go to number 5. Whose
Oh, I
tattoo
know
is
that
that?
one. Oh,
Do you? Who's
why do
that?
I know that
I don't know.
one? It's got human hands though, which is off-putting.
That's not human hands. It's
I
just
said
bad.
Bad
That is
human
a
hands.
Human hand. That is an
It's,
No,
it's
it's
bad
paws,
paws
look.
and bad human hands.
held in. good
It is, isn't it? Mate, hands are the hardest thing to do in like drawing.
They
and that's
look.
just
Do
like-
you know? They look like oven mitts. More like it's a tiger with oven mitts.
No, it's a
a
human
tiger
with elements.
Like, what?
Why do I know
Guys, this Mark says Dustin Rhodes. It isn't Dustin Rhodes. Sassy says KO. It's not. He actually has a Brahma bull on his side, which nearly made it into the list, but it's not that bad. This is a guy that we've had on our TV for years. Still working with AEW at the
Darby?
moment. And and currently no, not Darby. Currently, he was in WCW originally. Came to WWE. It is, of course, Big Show.
See, I was like, it has to be an old. If I know it, then it's an older one.
Paul White, says Sassy. Absolutely well played, Sassy. It is Paul White. It is the Big Show, and it is Dan. It's the hands, man. They're like oven mitts.
Yeah.
He's got so much money. Get it touched up. Like, get it.
Maybe it means something.
Yeah, but
maybe
you can
it
still
means...
touch it up.
There's no excuse, Dan. Whether it means something or not, it needs changing. Certainly the oven mitts.
No, but it's
I mean,
like...
they are oven mitts, though. They really are. The placement doesn't even look like it. Maybe it's someone trying to scoop the lion for dinner. Like, that's so they got the oven mitts on. They're trying to go underneath and just lift it up, right? Like just scoop under.
If that tiger was jumping out from the undergrowth, you'd expect a cuddle, right?
David Attenborough's behind him, right? Just like trying to lift him up and rescue him. Like...
And also, you can't really see it very well on that photo, but on the other photo, on the other side, he has a lion, and it is a mess, man. It is a mess. I mean, the soft tiger is pretty bad, but the lion on the other side is just as bad. Clearly, Big Show has a thing for big cats.
Here's the thing, right? Like, the tattoo, was it just he went to a bad tattooist? Because it's not like the tattooist can go, I just didn't have a big enough area to work on. You know what I mean? Like, there was clearly the space to do your finest work, my friend.
Exactly, right?
Maybe it just means something to
Was it his mate?
It's no excuse. Yeah, maybe it's his mate. Maybe it was
might have been his first tattoo when he wanted to keep it as it was.
Yeah, exactly. This is from a troubled time in his life when it felt like someone was holding his throat to a tiger.
Maybe he got it when he was like 12 and he's just grown a lot since then, and the hands have really grown on them claws.
maybe the tiger was added later on. Maybe it was like he was going to be a chef, so it was just like oven mitts, just hands, and then they were like, I've changed careers now, we'll change this to a tiger.
Oh, very good. There we go. At number 6, everyone knows this one.
No,
Oh, right, you're being
still one of the worst.
That's terrible.
It's pretty poor, isn't it? Even the colouring on it's bad. Everyone knows who it is. It is, of course,
did it himself.
Punk. Does anyone know the reason why he got this tattoo?
Do it myself. But
is it a straight edge thing? No, is it?
No, it's not.
It's the Pepsi.
No, it's not. Well, the reason he got it, like, does he like the soft drink Pepsi? No, it's because Minor Threat, who is one of his favorite bands, the lead singer had a Coca-Cola tattoo, so he decided to get a Pepsi tattoo.
Surely you'd only do that if it's like your least favorite band. Like, oh, you like Coca-Cola, Pepsi.
That makes more sense. That makes so much more sense.
That's actually 100% right.
No, I don't
right.
Get it.
Yeah, otherwise it's like, oh, you love Coke, I love Pepsi. Like, we're practically the same because it's well known how much the two love each other. Those brands, there's no war there.
But I mean, the logo doesn't make for a great tattoo. It doesn't scream design, and I mean, it's not even the modern logo looks slightly different. This is just. I mean, surely you could cover that up as some sort of yin and yang thing, right?
You do wonder, like, how old was he when he got that? Because you do think to yourself, it looks like something where he's like, oh, they got the Coca-Cola, I'll get a Pepsi tattoo. And his mate Kevin was just like, Pepsi tattoo? I can have a tattoo that on you. Okay, yeah. 30 quid, mate. 30 quid.
That's the bargain.
It's when you go to a tattooist and you don't know what you're going to get, and you're looking around the room and you see a can of Pepsi and you go, right there.
That's what I want. Do it.
Do it now. And obviously it's become a huge part of his gimmick with the Pepsi plunge. Sassy says his whole chest tattoo is bad. I don't hate the chest tattoo. But then at the same time, you've got this glaring on the side of you, on the side of the thing.
Yeah, the Pepsi one I can't say. Oh, see, that's not a bad tattoo. That's a bad life decision.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when you're getting your partner's name tattooed on you, which is absolutely cool, and you know, my partner has her ex tattooed on, and that's cool. I don't mind. It's a part of her life. Probably best not to do
put
it
in a super visible place
on
Front
your throat.
and center.
That's the dead man with his ex-partner's name, which he then got removed, and it became some sort of.
It was like tribal type symbol, I think, now instead.
But it muddied up really quickly because it's on the neck area, and he's old, and his neck started hanging.
I do remember his excuse for getting her name on his throat, and it was like alarm bells going, because it was something about, you know, well, if you're going to have your wife's name tattooed on you, you might as well make it on the most painful area possible. And it's like, are you trying to say that, like, marriage is the most painful thing? Being with her is the most painful thing? What are we saying here? It's not.
I can't see any way that I'm into that as a reason for putting it there.
Yeah.
It's a pretty poor decision, and he didn't change it to Michelle McCool. Instead, he got a tribal thing, which faded out very quickly because of the amount of times.
I was going to say he was like, never again.
Yeah.
I don't know. He might have it tattooed elsewhere that we don't know.
He might do.
A lot of ladies say tattoo a different area just so people can see it in the business area.
I'm sure Taker has enough space on that business area to get Michelle McCool's full name tattooed onto his. I've only got enough for Sarah. So here we go. Number 8 is. Does anyone know who that is? It's a back piece, man. I know you.
No. The hell you say?
I thought that
was Christ, the things that we learn.
I thought it was a project.
It is. Anyone?
I mean, it looks like one of the monsters from Trapdoor. Like,
apparently, this is his face when he's angry and he's wrestling. Mark thinks it's The Rock. It's not The Rock. It's not The Rock. It is, of course.
A lot better.
Mate, and he hadn't done any work on it either, and it needs work.
No shit.
It's Matt Morgan.
Oh, it looks.
Matt Morgan.
Out, it is a lot to handle. That looks like that's a sketch.
It is a sketch, isn't it? It's like the tattoo artist hasn't finished.
Yeah,
that's an unfinished tattoo.
That's really unfinished.
Yeah.
Oh, and he's rocking the tribal on the sides.
But it's a
when you were born.
We put this as a bonus because I mean that's a wiggly tribal.
Yeah, that's
a cloudy tribal right there. But it's the line where there's no shading in it, man, and it's just that's a god awful back tattoo.
It looks. I see that, and I do think it means, gosh, that really hurt, and I don't want to go back. You know,
yeah. Stop
it's
right there.
You're broke and can't afford to go back, or it really hurt and you don't want to go back. That's what that tattoo says.
It certainly does. But
it doesn't say I planned for this and this is we're done, we're good.
I mean, even the eyes are not even.
It's not.
No, they're not, are they, man? Like one goes right up on his. I wonder if that's his muscle formation as well, though. Is it sort of grown into it? I don't know. I don't know the excuse. I can't make excuses for this bad tattoo, but that's why he is number 3 on our list. At number 9,
another bad tribal.
Another bad tribal.
And he's got scarification as well.
Is that not?
No, that's just veins.
I was going to say, I think that's.
Is that veins?
I think
it is.
Now,
this isn't the worst tattoo he's got either. The worst.
Have they tried to shade the tribal, or is the ink falling out?
I think that's the falling out ink.
Is this Batista?
It is certainly Batista, and right.
The middle shot looks like it's like almost a photo that you'd regret sending.
I'm.
You know what I mean? It's just like that's like he got in my DMs, and this is what he sent me.
Mate, so that's
with the bumhole belly button.
Yeah, the bumhole belly button. Right? Why would you have a chocolate starfish on your belly button?
Right.
It looks like an eye that's constantly looking at you. It looks like if you were to just take that segment, it looks like a really hardcore stripper. All he needs is a little piercing, and he'd be like
little bling.
you can see why he then had more work done. I don't know, what is it? Is that a pheasant or something he's had it turned into? It looks like he's just turned it into a pheasant. Look, there's the little heads. Look, there's little legs running.
I have no, but it also looks like the tattoo artist just vomited on his stomach as well, and just like the famous grouse has like appeared on his stomach out of nowhere.
I think anything is better than what he had. I think at that point where they start asking, would you like this or this? You're like, just literally anything over. You can't
make sense of what it is though, can you?
No.
It's weird.
It's a lot. I should have known when I saw the odd veins that's who it was, because he makes his veins pop. He makes it happen.
He certainly does. He's a veiny man, a very veiny man. Let's talk about one of the worst tattoos
ever.
Oh,
yeah, no, we know who that is.
Do you know what? No, I don't believe that's one of the worst tattoos.
Oh, we have some dissension right here from Dan. Let's have a look who it is. You all know in chat straight away. It is, of course, the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. I tell you, all right, let me tell you why I don't like this, Dan. The placement of it is horrific. When you haven't got any other tattoos and you just decide to put one there, how the hell are you going to blend that into anything? How are you going to come out of it? How are you going to do anything? It is a tramp stamp on the side of his neck. It doesn't even look good in a shirt or a collar or anything. It's a tramp stamp on the side of his bloody neck. Dan, defend it.
Well, I'm going to sort of jump in first.
Go.
You said he doesn't have any other tattoos. He does.
Oh, he has the dream thing, which is fine. That's like a tribute to his father and stuff like this. This is. I get that this is all about him being confident in his brand. I get that, but goddamn, he has to look every day in the mirror with that bruise on the side of his neck.
Just put it on a t-shirt.
and he has done.
With any tattoo, you just put it on a t-shirt. We've seen 9 good examples of just put it on a t-shirt. No, do you know what? Right, when I first saw it, it was because it's so jarring to suddenly go from nothing there to something like that. There, it's extremely jarring. Now I just can't imagine him without it, and now I feel he's grown into that tattoo. I think the thing is that tattoo was so big, it was almost imposing, like it was bigger than him. And I'm not meaning the size, I mean because it stands out so much. Your eyes are drawn to it.
And he was quite plain looking.
And now I just think,
like, boom,
and
right there.
Yeah, it was. And now I just think to myself, like, so no, I just can't imagine. I think the two go together. Yeah, and there is. I'll be lying if I wasn't in my mind that there's a strong branding, aspect of it as well, and that there's an element of that meaning to what he has created and putting it there. Absolutely. But somehow, and don't get me wrong, if you'd have said the same thing to me when he first got it, I'm sure when it first happened, I was like, what the bloody hell has he done? But now, over time, I'm just like, you know what? I can't. I think it was bigger than him, and now he's grown into it. I think that tattoo was bear paws, but now he's grown into his bear paws.
It was big balls, but Brandy does have to look at them big balls every morning and live with that decision.
Paws, not big balls, but okay. like a little baby bear with big paws, like a puppy.
Oh, like Big Show's tattoo, right?
That's what I thought.
Emily, what do you think of this tattoo?
The thing I genuinely worry about, just because it's like it's so much, and he went in, and I respect that, the placement and everything. I don't get it. I don't think that's how it should sit.
No,
but he's done it now, and it's there, so it's there. I worry because like it's a brand, and he's gone with his brand, and there's going to be a point where you're not really going to feel like that. You're like, there's me, and there's my brand, and then it is right there. I feel like in the future that might be a lot to try and legitimately mentally cope with, and I think that's something that as he gets older he might, that actually weirdly, because I know there are regrets on like, oh, he doesn't look how he likes. How can you come to terms mentally with there's my persona and there's me, and I'll freaking put my entire persona right there really bold.
That's
a lot.
a really interesting point. You look at stars like Bowie and stuff like that who have committed so much to a character or a brand, and suddenly it's caused a lot of mental issues because they're stuck with that. And this is very, you are stuck with that.
Yeah. And I know, I feel like it's like maybe not the take I was meant to have on that, but that's what it screamed to me. I was like, oh, I feel like mental health wise, that's not going to be great. Like there might be some things that are actually a struggle, because when you're younger, you feel like you'll always be young, but you won't.
Hargreaves, what do you think, Ben?
I think the tattoo itself, the design is really cool. I do like it. I think somewhere like the back of the shoulder would have been a lot better placement for it, because it is coverable. It's not something that you don't have to have on show if you don't want. And again, sort of feeding through the same points. The tattoo itself is such a brave choice to have something so publicly visible. I've got both of my arms done. I've got loads all over my legs, but sat with a shirt and tie on, pair of trousers, pair of shoes, you can't tell I've got any. And for a lot of people, tattoos can be a thing that can affect your jobs. So for me, I think
he's all right there, mate.
Yeah, I know. But just in the sort of general sense, a visible tattoo can affect your employment opportunities, and a lot of people might look at that now and go, well, I'm going to get something like that, or I want something so big right on the side of my neck. And then 5 years down the line, they change jobs. They may lose a job because of the tattoos. And I think it could affect people a lot more outside of himself, that he doesn't realise. He's a big person that is influencing a lot of people with that tattoo.
Guys, we have
getting the first tattoo on their neck at the moment, and I've noticed that has become a trend. Like sometimes behind the ear, which on women who might have long hair, that covers, but it's like a lot of people are weirdly getting neck tattoos. Having said that, I got a neck tattoo as my first tattoo, but it's right on the back of my neck. It's like people forget that, people don't even notice I have it, but it's
and
like
I wouldn't know which neck to start on if I was to guys, thank you so much for watching the video. We seem to have dissension already among the Cody Rhodes tattoo. Please do get your comments down below and let us know what you think. And next week we're going to be doing the best tattoos in wrestling, counting down them. So come and join us for that. Hit subscribe and all that good stuff.